Hi, Nikkei. This is the ambassador. Glad we were able to make contact again. I think our space times are starting to align a little better. Apparently there was some disruption in the fields that's unexplainable.
This is the part of the story where the ambassador tries to make believe that the whole problem wasn't his own fault because he was playing around with a device that was supposed to be finding the alignment of the various parts of the omniverse throughout the various probability waves, and it accidentally caused a ripple within the whole... Oh, wait, I probably shouldn't give this all away yet. Would you please not interrupt? I'm trying to talk to Nikkei.
Okay, Nikkei, it's time to explain the various other universes that are out there. I've been able to make contact with several of the universes that are more in line with the space that we're in. And so we're able to make some really good, strong connections with Mike. Again, you know, I have to apologize whenever I say Mike because there's so many Mikes that think I'm talking about them, but I'm not. You know, it's the Michaels and Mikes, and even the whole idea of a Michaelverse is just something we don't need. And this is the part of the story where the ambassador starts going off on some kind of weird tangent and never gets to the point. Hey, I'm talking here. I never interrupt. I apologize. I wasn't interrupting. No, I'm just a narrator here to add texture and context to the things that otherwise you may not be able to see because there are no images. Although, I do believe Mike is trying to move us towards some images. Okay, listen, the idea is understanding the different levels, different manifolds. The fact that there are multiple dimensions. And so one of the things with the amazing Nikkei universe and understanding that there are other universes out there. Now, the most important one is the Denisoverse. And I'm not just saying because I'm a dentist. No, the Denisoverse, of course, is all credit is given to Dennis E. Taylor, the creator of the Bobbyverse, which is a fantastic series on Audible that I found out the most recent one that Ray Porter, the most amazing narrator that has ever existed.
Hey, wait a minute! Why are you talking about some other narrator or some other audio talent when you have a perfectly good one right here?
Look, anybody that's listened to Project Hail Mary or the Bobbyverse knows that Ray Petrie is the best.
Wait a minute, you didn't even say his name right! If you're gonna give somebody credit, say Ray Porter. Don't say Roy Potry or Petrie or whatever you are doing.
I got you to say his name.
Wait, this isn't fair. I think it's time for a commercial break.
And remember, whenever you have a lawsuit, call the Lawyerverse. Only the members of the Lawyerverse are genetically certified to be able to take your case. Now, back to our regularly scheduled interruption by the narrator.
Well,
what? I was waiting for you to interrupt.
You don't have to be talking before I can interrupt. How can I interrupt you if you weren't even talking?
Well, you got a point there.
Now I can say something, you see, because you were talking.
Well, you might want to let me, move into a thought or actually share something. You know, Nikkei has been spending a lot of time having to try to listen to this. He can't do his driving game if he's listening to this, so I think we need to get to the point.
Well, you're the one that was talking about Mike.
Oh, yeah, we don't want to get into that conversation again. So anyway, Nikkei, the different universes, the one that Mike is in, he's a mover. He also works with a shaker. I'll introduce you to those guys later. And then he also introduced me to Captain Michael J. of the New Truth Revolution. And I think he's across the universe that he travels. for the one, for the truth. And so we're going to find out more about him and see if he can make it over to the Nikkeiverse, because we're having some issues with some reprogramming in one of the regions that we're needing to move into and do some work. So I'll get to you with more of that really soon. But right now, I found out that I need to go and hire a new narrator.
Wait a minute! What the you best come back here! Hey! Hey! Get over here!
Nikkei, I trust you've gotten the transmission and the appropriate signal. You are able to tune in to all the broadcasts. Sorry we couldn't make it easier for you to connect with us, but there's been a lot of interference. As you know, the enemy is able to mess with technology in many ways. The good news is, even though the enemy has been using technology to destroy the one, well, I should say trying to destroy the one, trying to interrupt his plan, corrupt, destroy. The enemy's only things he likes to do is kill, steal, and destroy. That's not good. That's not right. And so, as an emissary, ambassador, godfather, space-time traveler, multi-dimensional visionary with the ability to communicate on numerous levels of reality at the same time, I have been given a voice to share with others. And so now that voice is being broadcast out into what some people call the cloud. I think in your reality, you might call it internet, you might call it ethos, physical, quantum. Don't know exactly how much understanding your reality has, because we connect different space-times with different space-times. So what I mean by that is, I'm in one space-time. Let's say I'm at 9:14 a.m. And the distance you are from me, and the way they're measuring time in the Trumpiverse that you're in, that's the one where Donald Trump was president twice. I may be getting ahead of myself. But anyway, if I'm at 9:15 a.m. right now, I know that you're in a different location, space-time, pretty sure. On the landmass you're on, it's called Colorado, I believe. I won't give any more details than that, but given that, you're several hours different. So let's say wherever you are, that you're 2 hours earlier than I am. So I'm 9:15 a.m. You're 7:15 a.m. Just as an example. Well, that's all well and good for the now. But the thing is, as you look at the different ways our space-time's interacting, you're not hearing this right now at 9:16 for me and 7:16 for you. That's not the time it is at all, because it can't be. The section of time where I shared that information is basically, just to keep it simple for our understanding on this basics of it, it's in the past. Everything's in the past. You cannot perceive the future at all. Unless you can.
This is the year of the popcorn, by the way.
And
This,
certain individuals,
Chris is a knight, I believe.
emissaries, ambassadors, messengers, heralds, proclaimers,
About some
they
of those
all
positions in the kingdom
have that ability. So, just for you and I, just so you know, even though we're in different space times, the more and more we share and we understand and we step outside of the basic understandings of space time and realize that we're communicating directly, even though there's space time in between, there's no lag in our communication. It travels faster than light. And that's hard because when you go into basic, going to Newtonian physics and to really the relativity and those aspects of physics with Einstein, and then into the quanta, you find that there's no interference. There's no issues with where we are in space-time hindering our ability to communicate. For people that understand words of the One, they'll know that there was an individual that in many realities was originally known as Saul, and then he became Paul in the New Testament of the Holy Scriptures. And he said something about being with people in spirit, even though absent from the body. And so because we are spiritual beings, we are able to communicate with each other directly, even though we're not in the same space-time. So right now, Nike, you know I'm talking to you. You know I'm your godfather. We have that relationship. I'm like, we're cool, right? You're like, yeah, we're cool. You know, you like talking about Saw. I'm not as interested, but, you know, hey, it's all good, right? And we're just talking one-on-one. And you can even be, like, agreeing right now, talking back to me, even though I can't hear you right now. I can hear you when our space-times align a little better. There's a saying, don't muzzle the ox that treads the grain.